Ladies and gentlemen, hit subscribe to this channel right now, especially if you're new to this channel. Please hit subscribe. You're going to watch former President Donald Trump give his viewpoint of Biden's Biden's ability to be president at the moment. Let's try to be as civil and respectful as possible. Now, you'll see that Trump is actually not the bully. You will see that media, I'll explain how media, the Democratic Party, there are a whole number of reasons why a very corrupt political establishment is really the true bully in all of this, and Trump just has his own communication style. That's the only thing you could say, whereas he's dealing with people who are actually malicious and want retribution. Hit subscribe to this channel to read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, other publications. Go to hagoodman.com. The Times today came out with an article on how Biden should be replaced. Numerous publications are talking about the incumbent being replaced. Let's get to Trump describing Biden. Hit subscribe right now.
But this great spirit, you got to go and vote. We got to knock the one off, and then we worry about November, and we're going to win. We're way up on this guy. It's just incredible that he can, frankly, be even running anything. He can't put two sentences together. He's running. Can't find his way off the stage. See all the stairs around here? How the hell do you not? Where is the stair? He says, where is the stair? To show you how evil the press is, I did this routine where I stumbled and mumbled, purposely imitating him, and they put it on. They said, he's cognitively impaired. Then I walked back. I'm looking, and I walk, what? Where? And he walks off the stage, and he's like, and they said it was me. I couldn't find, so I can't use sarcasm because they're very dishonest people. You know, sarcasm is a disaster. Every time I use sarcasm like that, they say, I couldn't find my way off the stage. I got stairs all over. And if you want, it's only about 3.5 feet. I could jump off the front. But this guy can't find his way. So sarcasm's a very dangerous thing with a dishonest press. So, I go through a long story because they actually had me like walking into, it's so sad. I said, do people believe that? And I just took a physical. You'll be happy to hear. Our great football player is going to be happy to hear this. I took a physical and I passed with flying colors, and I took a cognitive exam. I said, doctor, give me anything you want. I want to take it. I think you actually, if you're running for president, I think you should be forced to take it. They say it's not constitutional. So instead of, look, we love our Constitution, but look what we have in office. This guy cannot pass a cognitive exam. But I took a cognitive exam and I aced it. He said, I aced it. Thank you very much, doctor. And you know who gave me the first time I ever even heard of it? Dr. Ronnie. Do you know Doc Ronnie? He's one of the great congressmen now. Ronnie Jackson, he was the doctor. He's an admiral. He was the doctor in the White House. He was my doctor. He was Obama's doctor, too, by the way. I said, who's healthier? He said, sir, there's no contest. I won't tell you the answer, but you know the answer. Okay, it was me. He said, you're the healthiest guy. He said, if he didn't eat junk food, he'd live to 200 years old. That's my kind of a doctor. But he gave me, at Walter Reed, they gave me a cognitive exam, and I aced it. I actually aced it, got everything right. And I took another one, got everything right. I would know when it's going bad. I would tell you, if it's going bad, I'll be the first to know. You know who would be the first to know? Front Row Joes would be the first to know. They will tell me, they'll say, sir, we love you. We've been here. We've gone to 120 rallies. But, sir, it's time for you to pack it in. And I'd want them, you know what? I'd want them to say that. I'd want them. But I feel that right now I'm sharper than I was 20 years ago. And I don't know why. I don't know why. You know, it's a funny thing. And it's a very minor thing. But I'm a much better golfer than I was 10 or 15 years ago. Means something. You know, means something in a certain way. It means something. No, but I did. I took a physical, passed it. I thought I had an obligation, and I took a cognitive and aced it. I said, which did I do better on, my physical or my cognitive? He said, actually, sir, your cognitive.
So, ladies and gentlemen, number one, Trump doesn't have the luxury, okay? He doesn't have the luxury of late night comedians. The New York Times, the Washington Post, and you can see right here, this is today or 2 days ago. Can Democrats replace Joe Biden? The New York Times, okay? When the New York Times is running that type of article, there's a concerted effort by Democrats to replace the most popular candidate of all time, according to the statistics. Funny how that works. But here you have, I'm going to show you more clips of Trump and of Biden. And the person who really doesn't know much about politics is going to say, well, this is Trump being a bully. But the true bullies, the people who are the most petulant and malicious, are within the Democratic Party and media. Let's look at what Trump has to deal with. He's been indicted under 91 criminal charges for crimes that they would never go after a Democrat or charge a Democrat with. And we see that just recently, not only with Clinton, who I think will replace Biden eventually. So he's going to be replaced by somebody. Could be the California governor, could be another person, but I think that it'll be Hillary Clinton. But she could have been charged with putting top secret intelligence on servers. By the way, to my super chat, feel free during the videos to give a super chat, or if you want at any point in time. Thank you so very much. Your support is greatly appreciated. I will be here, by the way, at 10 p.m. or no, 9:30 p.m. Eastern tonight. 9:30 p.m. Eastern tonight. So be here at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. But Trump doesn't have social media algorithms. He doesn't have hundreds of millions of dollars from corrupt Ponzi schemes within crypto and Facebook, for example. But you have late night comedians, Saturday Night Live, every single day, making fun and mocking and denigrating Trump and everyone around Trump. You have not only comedians, you have all of Hollywood disparaging him. You have social media algorithms banning him for 3 years because apparently his words caused people to lose free will and they committed crimes in January. Meanwhile, Democrats said the most egregious things, from Chuck Schumer to congresswomen and congressmen around the country who were Democrat. They did not get social media algorithms to ban any Democrat, even though their words correlated with $1 billion to $2 to $3 billion in property damage, or $1 to $3 billion in property damage. Okay, that summer. And I agree with why people demonstrated peacefully. But you have social media algorithms leveled against Trump. You have Trump being indicted under 91 criminal charges that they would never level against the Democrat. You have the Washington Post, the New York Times, MSNBC, CNN, The Atlantic, New Yorker, New York Magazine, Vanity Fair, Esquire, Rolling Stone, Mother Jones, The Nation, Daily Beast. You have every single publication, almost every single publication, with editors and journalists and reporters and writers and columnists who are devoted. At Los Angeles Times, every single major publication, Arizona Republic, Atlanta Journal-Constitution, every single major publication. There's not one Trump supporter writing in defense of Trump. And every single day, you have 95 to 100% negative media coverage, that 5% being maybe Fox News. Or you know, this channel or other channels as well. You have an entire American political establishment leveled at Trump. An entire American political establishment leveled at Trump. And so ask yourself, who's the real bully? Okay, you have Trump with 70 to 80 million Americans. He's up against mashed potato brains in the polls. And where is his support in media? In Hollywood, you do have the great, and I love Roseanne Barr. I love Roseanne Barr. You do have support from legends like Roseanne Barr, and there are other legendary actors and comedians that support Trump, but most of Hollywood, most social media algorithms, most of media, most of political media, most pundits are against Trump 24/7, and he's been charged with crimes they're going after the direct political rival in a way that they feared Trump would against them. So who's the bully? Who is the bully, ladies and gentlemen? Who is the person utilizing malice for retribution? Who are the people? Who is the political side utilizing malice and this kind of petulant behavior against their direct political rivals? It ain't Trump. Okay, Trump is not the bully here. Okay, Trump is, in many ways, the victim here. Hit subscribe if you're new to the channel. Let's listen to Trump again. See, the only thing Trump has is his personality. So you have his personality, and that's really what he has. Let's listen to Trump describe Biden again. And again, this is something that Democrats know very well will lead to a landslide. Trump is on his way to a landslide victory. He's on his way to a landslide victory, ladies and gentlemen. I was one of the only people in all of YouTube, it was me and Sticks, X, and Hammer, in all of YouTube in 2016 saying Clinton would lose. And I wrote that in The Hill, the Huffington Post, Salon. I wrote that. And I said Clinton would lose. And Trump is on his way to a landslide victory. And I said Trump would come back no matter what. And he's coming back. And I told everyone, I said, the indictments against Trump will unravel. And we're seeing that in Fulton County. And we're seeing that with the classified data. And we're seeing that in D.C. Okay? Hit subscribe if you're new to this channel right now.
Look at what's going on, and you haven't even seen them. They've allowed, I believe, 15 million people into the country from what's going to happen with all those people. Crooked Joe can't even walk up the children's stairs in Air Force One, you know? Now, doesn't that look terrible? You see a man come out, you want to see a man walk out, or woman, walk off Air Force One, nice and high, wave to everybody. This guy goes through the little stairs. We call them the children's stairs. And now he's made it a common practice because he can't quite make it up or down. I think he has a bigger time making it up. Usually that's it's supposed to be easier. I don't know. Let's not even think about it. Or find his way off a stage. He can't find his way off a stage. You ever see makes a speech, if you call it that. Okay, thank you. And they're screaming at him. They're saying, no, you got there, you got there. I mean, he can make a bad speech, but you got to be able to see, you came in here, I can even go out there, I see there's an exit there, exit here, you got exits all over. It's unbelievable. And this guy's in charge of the most dangerous time in our history. He's in charge of it, and the weaponry is, I believe, 50.
So, ladies and gentlemen, is Trump wrong? Is Donald Trump wrong? Let's say you don't like him. Is he wrong? Be honest. Just be honest. Is Donald Trump wrong? Is he wrong in what he's saying? Because the New York Times would never. You're talking about essentially an extension of the Democratic Party with the Washington Post, the Times, MSNBC, CNN. There's not one supporter of President Trump, not one supporter of former President Donald Trump in the Washington Post or the New York Times, and he won almost half the electorate. They talk about the popular vote. How on earth can you win the popular vote if you don't have any positive media coverage? If you were an actor with only negative media coverage, you would never land a role in any movie. If you were a politician with only negative media coverage, you would never win. Trump is able to win in 2016 and almost 4 years ago with only negative media coverage. And then they say his favorability ratings are very similar to Biden's and pretty much the same, although Trump is up. But they don't take into account the context. If Trump has the same favorability ratings as Biden, and Biden has virtually 100% positive media coverage, and the negative coverage is due to his own the foreign policy catastrophes during his presidency or a terrible economy, which we have, we're on thin ice. We're heading towards a major stock market crash. Unfortunately, we have record highs in credit card debt. Interest rates for mortgages are 7 to 8%. They were 3% with Trump. We had record low poverty with Trump. But the point is, if they say, look at the favorability ratings, nobody really wants a Trump-Biden rematch. Oh, I do. I want a Trump-Biden rematch. I do not want to disqualify Joe Biden because he actually broke laws pertaining to classified data. I want a Joe Biden, Donald Trump rematch. Absolutely. Do you want to know who wants a Biden-Trump rematch? Every single Trump supporter on the planet. Do you want to know who wants a Trump-Biden rematch? Every single Trump supporter on the planet. Do you want to know who doesn't want a rematch? Every Democrat. Okay? Because they know that Trump is right. And he's had these issues since he was making up words and slurring his speech 4 years ago. This is a very disgusting display by Democrats. Okay, the man really, it's really disgusting by Democrats for a number of reasons. Okay? But it takes, and we'll get to Biden right now. You will listen to Biden right now, and you'll see exactly what Trump is talking about. I mean, they come up with these articles. Why, gosh, why age is hurting Biden more than Trump? I mean, they're both roughly the same age. It's like, there's no comparison. This is delusional on the part of liberal Democrats who despise Trump so much that a person who cannot communicate, who slurs speech and makes up words, and the vice president isn't that much better, just, with a word salad every 2 seconds. But the delusion here that Trump is just as bad. Everything with Democrats is make everything morally relative. Go ahead and make everything morally relative. Because if you can make everything morally relative, well, Trump is just as bad. Tina, thank you for being a member. Tina, thank you. Thank you so much to my super chat, to the members on this channel. Thank you. I will always try to give a heart, to heart every, and to like every comment in the comment section from a member. Thank you so very much. But do you know, ladies and gentlemen, really quickly, before we get to Biden, because we're going to get to Biden in a second. We're going to get to Biden in a second. But you look at media and you look at, let's say, the New York Times. Okay? I've been published in a number of places. You can read my writing at hagoodman.com. I want to. The reason I'm speaking in this manner is I want to make sure there are no audio issues. How is the audio? Is it good? Let me know. How's the audio doing? How is it, ladies and gentlemen? Can you hear me well today? For the past day or so, there's been an issue, but there's always an issue that pops up 20 minutes in. So we are at roughly 20 minutes in. I want to make sure that everything's okay. Okay. Thank you, CR. Thank you, Tina. Hello. Thank you again. Do you want to know, ladies and gentlemen, how to get your articles published? Okay. So I've been published in the Roanoke Times, whole bunch of places. And you have to pitch the article to an editor. Okay. And you have to introduce yourself and maybe a little bit about yourself, but why you're qualified or why the article or the op-ed or the column is important to the readers of that publication. And you're going to be rejected almost always. But for example, the New York Times has editors, a number of editors, like every publication, and they look at articles, whether or not to publish articles. Everything that's published in the Washington Post or the New York Times must fit a certain political paradigm, which is exactly the paradigm that Democrats, that promotes the Democratic Party. So the political paradigm within the New York Times and Washington Post must uphold or support the Democratic Party. It must. You will never be able, almost never, you will almost never be able to get published in the Washington Post and New York Times saying that people should vote Trump and that Trump was a great president and that everyone should support Donald Trump. It ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen. Okay? Why do you think they're publishing articles saying that Democrats should replace Biden? Why do you think that's the case? Why do you think that's the case? because everyone knows what's going on. For example, you can just watch Biden yourself here.
Went back 40 years. At the same time I was managing international crisis, their task was to make a decision about whether to move forward with charges in this case. That's their decision to make. That's the council's decision to make. That's his job. And they decided not to move forward. For any extraneous commentary, they don't know what they're talking about. It has no place in this report. The bottom line is the matter is now closed. I'm going to continue what I've always focused on, my job of being President of the United States of America. Now, thank you, and I'll take some questions.
President Biden, something the special counsel said in his report is that one of the reasons you were not charged is because, in his description, you are a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory.
I'm well-meaning, and I'm an elderly man, and I know what the hell I'm doing. I've been president, and I put this country back on its feet. I don't need his recommendation. It's totally
How bad is your memory, and can you continue as president?
My memory is so bad I let you speak. That's
Do you feel your memory has gotten worse, Mr. President?
My memory is not good. My memory is fine. My memory, take a look at what I've done since I've become president. None of you thought I could pass any of the things I got passed. How'd that happen?
It happened because you have only universally positive media coverage. It happened because you have the House and the Senate. So I don't understand this nonsense when Democrats say, well, he passed legislation. So what? He had the House and the Senate. He had the House and the Senate. Who cares? And so when you have the House and the Senate, and you have never Trump Republicans everywhere, and you have universal media coverage, so what? I mean, these articles from the New York Times are new. I was telling you for a long time on this channel that he would be replaced. I don't understand why, I don't understand why people, even the president himself says, well, I got all of this, we got this legislation passed. So what? What did you do for the country? We're worse off now in terms of the economy, objectively. And we're worse off now in terms of foreign policy. We were better off objectively in terms of record low poverty and record highs in household median income with Trump without 7 to 8% mortgage rates. Mortgage rates were 3% with Trump. You are paying twice as much every month for a new home under Biden. Again, you are paying twice as much. For the 870 to 900 people watching, hit subscribe if you're new to this channel. You are paying twice as much because of interest rates under Biden. This is why, in addition to the cognitive and mental issues, this is why the Times and others say they should replace mashed potato brains. You are paying twice as much the socialists and communists and far left publications or pundits, they don't care about interest rates. They're not focused on the fact that we had record low poverty with Trump. So I don't get it. I just don't understand. I don't get when Biden says, oh, I passed this legislation. You have only you have late night comedians embracing your rear end every night. You have Saturday Night Live devoting every single Saturday night to disparaging and demeaning Trump. So, but let's continue.
I guess I just forgot what was going on.
Mr. President.
If voters have concerns about your age, how are you going to assuage them? And do you fear that this report is only going to fuel further concerns about your age?
Only by some of you.
Mr. President, clear up criminal liability today. But do you take responsibility for at least being careless with classified material?
I take responsibility for not having seen exactly what my staff was doing. It goes in and points out things that appeared in my garage, things that came out of my home, things that were moved not by me but my staff.
Oh, you can blame staff now? Is that it? Is that how it works? So now you can blame staff. Now it's okay to blame staff. But Trump has a staffer indicted alongside him. Okay? He doesn't get the luxury to blame staff. Ladies and gentlemen, can you blame somebody else if you've committed a crime? Only if you're a Democrat. I thought that the staff at Mar-a-Lago, one of them is actually indicted. So which one? You have 2 times Clinton and Biden both actually removed classified data and lost possession of classified data or removed them illegally. And Trump, as a president with the power to declassify, they went after. Biden, as senator, no power to declassify. Neither did Secretary Clinton, who I think will replace Biden. By the way, when Hillary Clinton replaces Biden, eventually, this channel should have a live stream of I don't know how many thousands of people, but I'm the only person in the entire universe that has said Hillary Clinton will. But I'm not perfect, so I'm not right about everything. I have been saying, at least I'll be half right or mostly right. I've been saying since day one that they're going to replace the incumbent. I've been saying since day one. So, let's continue.
Mr. President, for months when you were asked about your age, you would respond with the words, "Watch me." Many American people have been watching, and they have expressed concerns about your age.
That is your judgment. That is your judgment. That is not the judgment of the press.
They express concerns about your mental acuity. They say that you are too old. Mr. President, in December, you told me that you believe there are many other Democrats who could defeat Donald Trump. So why does it have to be you now? What is your answer to that question? Because I'm the most qualified
person in this country to be president of the United States and finish the job I started.
Do you believe that, guys? Mr. President, why are you confusing the names of world leaders?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.
I did not share classified information. I did not share it.
With your ghostwriter?
With my ghostwriter, I did not. Guarantee you did not.
But the special counsel said...
These are Democrats who, by the way, Bill Clinton in a drawer next to his underwear. Okay? In a sock drawer. Had classified data on audio tapes. Do you know this story, ladies and gentlemen? And hit subscribe if you're new to this channel. Do you know this story? A judge said that Bill Clinton's classified data on audio tape was Bill Clinton's property because he was writing a book. And so there might have been an issue with him giving his ghostwriter the classified audio tapes. But I mean, it's like the folly, the amount of classified data breaches under Democrats is unbelievable. From a cybersecurity perspective, it's unbelievable also. So you have endless classified data crimes. And they're going after Trump again because that's what they're guilty of. That's what they're guilty of. So, I mean, you can get back to Trump. I mean, you heard him speak, and there are better examples where he's just making things up. But we can go, I mean, you see, there's like this strained, like, you can see that there's something going on. Again, respectfully. God bless Biden. I think he's a terrible president, but God bless him. He's an American president, so I'm saying that. You'll never get a left-leaning pundit saying, God bless Trump. Because number one, they probably don't believe in God, the pundit. They might be atheists, which is fine, but their new religion is Democratic Party. So their religion is politics. Liberal atheists or left-leaning atheists have replaced God with politics or social issues. That's their religion. That's why they excommunicate people who disagree with them within their social circles. But here, let's just...
They had me the other day. I was imitating Biden because he can't walk off the stage, right? You know, no, he can never find the exit. So they had me turning around and looking for them. You never find. I mean, these stages have a lot of stairs on them. Some of them have 4 or 5 stairs, and he did. He had like so many stairs, he couldn't find it. And they showed me that I couldn't find the way off the stage. In other words, they said he couldn't find the way off the stage. And it's just terrible. They're so bad. You guys are so dishonest. You're so pathetic. That's why they're all going out of business, I'll tell you. They are just so pathetic. And, you know, it's so important. Having an honest media is so important. But they just aren't. And it's a lot of times what they don't say. It's not only what they say, it's what they don't say. But so I have to be very careful with sarcasm because I'm a little sarcastic.
So you have Trump mocking Biden because that's the only person on the planet in media who will actually point out that Biden has issues. Because you're not going to get late night to point that out. Okay, you're not going to get late night to point that out.
imitating Biden. The other day, I'm imitating Biden not getting off a stage, right? So I say, this guy can't even get off a stage. So I purposely, do my thing. You know the way he walks like this? And I go like this. And the fake news put it up as though I couldn't get off the stage. It's true. You saw that, right? They put it up like I couldn't. So I got to be careful. I can't do these things very much because when I imitate, I did one where I'm stumbling. I said, ladies and and they said, look at Trump. He can't talk. He's cognitively impaired. It's disgusting. I can't do anything. There can't be any humor anymore, Steve, because every time I imitate this guy, they say me doing it. And you saw that one, right? They have me not being able to get off a stage. These people are sick.
So this is why you have articles like the New York Times. This is why you have these articles. Okay? You have these articles because everyone knows what's going on. And I said this from the very beginning. How's the audio, by the way? I said this from the very beginning, ladies and gentlemen. I said that they were going to replace eventually. I think that Hillary Clinton will be opposite Trump in 24. I don't think it'll be the former First Lady. I don't think it'll be any governor. This is about money. Okay? The only person who could actually raise enough money to be competitive, okay, is Clinton. So I just don't think, I just do not think, ladies and gentlemen, that they're going to, he could win the nomination. The whole thing's a process. It's a theatrical performance. When they say, well, you have these people, it's hilarious. These journalists or these reporters or pundits, oh, that's not the way it works. That's not the way it works. It doesn't work that way. Don't you know? There's a process. There's a process. There's a process of how the Democratic National Committee works. Well, we know that Bernie Sanders proved when he got completely railroaded, when they cheated Bernie Sanders, there is no process of the DNC. It's a complete theatrical performance. We know that from the emails that the Kremlin helped everyone read, apparently. It was a plot by. You'd have to be pretty stupid. You'd have to be a complete imbecile to believe that the absolute nonsense, it was a plot by another country to inform you of how they cheated Bernie Sanders. So therefore, that forced Debbie Wasserman Schultz to resign. Not the writing within the DNC emails. Not the actual 3 or 4 other DNC officials that resigned because of the fact that they lied to voters. No, not that. Don't you know it was a plot by another country? That's the issue. It was a plot by another country to inform you of Hunter's laptop. Because we know this because 50 really smart intelligence officials told us that. You have to suspend logic and reason to be a Democrat. You believe these, you have pundits say, Trump supporters believe all of these conspiratorial things. There's no greater adherence to conspiratorial nonsense than Democrats who think that Trump was an operative of the Kremlin, having been proven wrong by Mueller. Or that Trump said both sides had fine people. He wasn't talking about the 1930s and 1940s Germans. He was talking about conservatives who wanted to keep statues up. And it's just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. It's really, really unbelievable. GTO, hello. And so you have a situation where you can look. Let's see if we can find some more. Let's see.
In addition to being Veterans Day, today is also Armistice Day. Did you know that? Armistice Day. And this is an incredible number when you hear these numbers, but the anniversary of the end of World War I, a conflict that killed over 2 people. And think of it, we have a guy in the White House who can't put 2 sentences together, who couldn't find his way off this stage. And actually, he would be confused, because I think my audience behind me might be bigger than my audience in front of me. He'd be saying, what do I do? Where am I? He'd be saying, it is sort of a strange speaking menu. I'm like in the middle of a room and I'm looking back here. But he would say, what's this? You ever see he ends a speech, he has no clue how to get off. You got to stare there. You got to jump off the front, do anything. Just don't walk into a wall. He walks into walls. But this is the guy that we have negotiating with Putin and, right? And President Xi of China.
I don't remember blocking anyone. So Backyard Explorers, I don't sometimes like I have nothing to do with it. It's the platform. I don't remember blocking anyone. And I apologize. On my end, I didn't do that. But everyone watching, thank you. To my super chat, thank you. Yeah, I saw that message here. Yeah, I don't know why that would have taken place. Let's continue. My apologies. It's probably a lot of times the platform censors words or profiles, and I have nothing to do with it. So I'm like Biden. I'm blaming everybody else but myself. Thank you. I appreciate and I apologize for the inconvenience. But I saw the message. I wanted to respond.
And Kim Jong-un, who won't even talk to him. This is who we have in charge of nuclear. But this anniversary should remind us all of why it is so important to once again have a president who will deliver peace through strength. That's what we had. We had all peace. We had peace. We had a great period of time. World War III has never been closer, in my opinion, than it is right now. And it wasn't at all close. We were never going to have it. 3 years ago, we had everything under perfect control.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you watching for a long time. Backyard Explorers and beyond. I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And again, apologize for the inconvenience regarding the other profile. A lot of times it's the platform itself. You can look, ladies and gentlemen, and there's a difference in terms of the two individuals. There's a difference in terms of the two men. Okay? This is why Democrats want to replace the incumbent. Okay? Only Democrats can look the American people with a straight face and say, we're going to replace an incumbent president that we think is amazing. Okay? Only Democrats can look at the incumbent. This does not happen, ladies and gentlemen. This does not happen with Trump. Nobody wants to replace Trump. You know, there are never Trumpers that do, but Trump supporters, 70 to 80 million Americans, do not want to replace Trump. They want to keep Trump. They want to keep Donald Trump. Okay? You're not going to get supporters of President Trump. You're not going to get anyone supporting Trump to say that they want to replace him. It's just not going to happen. Okay? It's just not going to happen. Okay, we like his policies. We had record low poverty, record highs in household median income, Doha Agreement, Abraham Accords, first president to step foot in North Korea, gave more money to historically black colleges and universities than any president ever, signed prison reform legislation. We had record low poverty, record highs in household median income with real wages going up. Real wages were down most of Biden's tenure. And you had interest rates that were low. Inflation was low. It wasn't 7 to 8 to 9%. Food inflation was low. You go to the supermarket now. Are you paying a lot in the supermarket? Are you taking a hit in terms of buying food? When you go to the supermarket, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're at, okay, in the Philippines, in the UK, in Nepal, in the US, in Canada, in New Zealand, throughout the world, you watch this channel, God bless you, thank you. Are you spending a lot? Easy, super extreme titanium MAGA. Are you spending more than you did with Trump? Objectively, there's no debate. Inflation, interest rates are up, poverty is up with Biden. All of those were low. We objectively had record low poverty with Trump. Since recorded, it was never lower. And you have poverty up under Biden. And we're heading towards a devastating stock market crash. So, that's also the issue. But let's continue with Biden.
Well, no, he did not say that.
Okay.
He did not say that.
But Mr. President,
let me answer your question. The fact of the matter is, what I didn't want repeated, I didn't want him to know, and I didn't read it to him, was I had.
Here is an example that there's no disrespect here. I'm not being disrespectful. Like I said, God bless Biden. I give him the respect that a president deserves when I say God bless Biden. You will never hear a left-leaning pundit say God bless Trump. Because the left-leaning pundit is probably an atheist, which is fine. I love Christopher Hitchens, But, and number two, there's only vitriol and venom towards Trump, this fabricated discontent or this fabricated, anger towards Trump, this fake outrage. When Biden routinely says more, worse. But anyway, what is this? This is not just an example of a speech impediment.
I guarantee you did not.
But the special counsel said in the
no,
report
he
that he
did not say that.
Okay.
He did not say that.
But Mr. President, one of the...
Let me answer your question. The fact of the matter is, what I didn't want repeated, I didn't want him to know, and I didn't read it to him, was I had written...
He didn't want something repeated, and then he did no. He didn't. You didn't repeat it to him. So that's an issue there. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. That's an issue there. That's an issue. That's an issue right there. Okay, that's an example.
Written a long memorandum to President Obama why we should not be in Afghanistan.
He called on me. When you look back at this incident, is there anything you would do differently now? And do you think that a special prosecutor should have been appointed in the first place in both of these cases?
First of all, what I would have done is oversee the transfer of the material that was in my office, in my offices.
So you did not oversee the transfer of classified data. You lost possession of classified data, and you did not oversee where these documents went to. And Trump is being indicted. Got it.
I should have done that. If I go back, I didn't have the responsibility to that. That was my staff was supposed to do that, and they referenced that in the report. And my staff did not do it in a way that, for example, I didn't know how half the boxes got in my garage until I found out staff gathered them up, put them together, and took them to the garage in my home.
He had classified data in his garage, and he didn't know how they got there, and Trump is being indicted. Got it.
And all the stuff that was in my home was in filing cabinets that were either locked or able to be locked. It was in my house. It wasn't out in, like in Mar-a-Lago, in a public place where, and none of it was high classified. Didn't have any of that red stuff on it. You know what I mean? Around the...
So now we're getting to the Clinton defense. Well, it wasn't it wasn't top secret. It was just sensitive material, lower classification, and they were in locked cabinets. Okay, with they went to Target or Home Depot and they got a lock. And it wasn't Mar-a-Lago. Mar-a-Lago, not everybody can just walk around Mar-a-Lago. There's places within Mar-a-Lago that are much safer than Biden's home. There was the Federal Bureau of Investigation actually was looking at the area that Trump kept the classified documents and gave the former president a new lock and said, here, just use this lock. They knew exactly where the classified data was, and guess what? It was declassified. As president, you can declassify documents. Good luck trying to prove that Trump didn't. You've indicted a president with the power to declassify documents. And Mar-a-Lago exactly has security. So it's pretty unbelievable.
Corners, none of that. And so I wish I had paid more attention to how the documents were being moved and where. I thought they were being moved to the archives. I thought all of it was being moved. That's what I thought. Now, what was the last part of your question?
Whether a special counsel should have been appointed in this case and in the case of your rival president, former president.
I think a special counsel should have been appointed. And the reason I think a special counsel should have been appointed is because I did not want to be in a position that they looked at Trump and weren't going to look at me, just like they looked at the vice president. And the fact is they made a firm conclusion. I did not break the law, period. Thank you all very, very much.
Actually, they say that he did break the law, but because he had poor memory and he was of advanced years in age, that they wouldn't indict him. They had prosecutorial discretion. They had prosecutorial discretion, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? We'll leave you with Trump giving, again, his impression of the president.
Become crooked Joe Biden's top surrogate, I think, because he doesn't has become crooked Joe Biden's top surrogate, I think, because he doesn't think Biden is going to make it. That's why he's doing it. He doesn't think he's going to make it, and it won't be him so easy. He's going to have a big fight. However, because there will be a lot of Democrats competing, it's going to be very interesting. But let's see. Look, some people say Biden's going to make it. Does anybody think he's going to make it to the starting gate? I mean, the guy can't find his way off of a stage. Look, here's a stage. Here's a stage. I've never seen this stupid stage before, right? I've never seen it. But if I walk left, there's a stair. And if I walk right, there's a stair. And this guy gets up. Where am I? Where the hell am I? Where am I? Nah, he's terrible. Terrible. You know, I'm much tougher on him than I used to be. Out of respect for the office, I was never like. He's the most corrupt president, the most incompetent president we've ever had. But when they indicted me, and then again and again and again, I was never indicted. Now I'm setting records. Al Capone was not indicted so much. Alphonse Capone. If you looked at Al Capone in the wrong way, he'd kill you. He was not indicted like me. I was never indicted. I didn't know. When they taught me at the Wharton School of Finance, they didn't talk about indictment. It's a disgrace what's happening. They've weaponized elections. They've done everything. I mean, these are very bad people. But I used to talk relatively nicely about them. I wouldn't go out of my way. I wouldn't say the things I say now. Now I'm just all in because these people are bad and they're dangerous, and we have to stop them. I wouldn't say what I say now. I never did. I'd joke. I'd have a little fun with it, but I wouldn't call him. I call him the worst president in history. I call him the most corrupt president in history, and I call him the most incompetent president. Other than that, he's doing a fabulous job, I think, ladies and gentlemen. He's doing a fabulous job. Along with crooked Joe Biden, Newsom is also killing our car industry. Your cars are ridiculous, what's happening, and crushing our great automakers in Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia, North Carolina, and South Carolina, crushing them. Under his leadership, this is Newsom, California has imposed the most ridiculous car regulations anywhere in the world with mandates to move to all electric cars. The problem with an electric car, number one, you lose all your jobs because they're all going to be made in China and other countries. They're not going to be made here at all. I was up in the other day in Michigan, like the other night. We had an incredible crowd. And they were the
You look, ladies and gentlemen, does Trump have late night? Does he have the Washington Post, New York Times, MSNBC, CNN? Does he have all of these advantages that Democrats have? Does he have a public relations machine? Okay? Does he have late night Hollywood? He doesn't have any of those things. He doesn't have any of those things. Okay? Trump does not have any of those advantages. And yet, they call him a bully. He doesn't have a media that caters to his political campaign. He doesn't have editors at major publications running hit pieces against its political rivals. And nobody's doing so out of like a contract they signed. Okay, but you're talking about a public relations monstrosity that actually does bully Trump.
United Auto Workers and others, but we were sort of focused on the auto workers. I said, you got to endorse Trump because I'm going to save your industry. We're going to have a thriving car industry. This lunatic is going to destroy. He's going to go all electric. Think about all electric. And I have no problem with electric. You should be able to buy an electric car. You should buy a gas-fired car. You should buy a hybrid. You should buy whatever the hell you want. I mean, some people like electric. If you want to drive for 14 minutes to the candy store, electric is very good. But if you actually want to get into a car and drive for a few hours, you know, they're doing a couple of other ones with electric. They're going electric crazy. It doesn't work. They want all electric army tanks now. Think of this. So they want to have an army tank that's electric. You can't get it recharged. It doesn't.
Imagine, what political side do you think wants, or I should say, because I don't really care about, I like Trump. I like Trump. The Republican Party, I don't really care about political parties. I like Trump. I like Tulsi Gabbard. I like RFK Jr. I like Rand Paul. I like anyone against never-ending military conflict. But all electric tank. So you look in who do you think would want that? A Democratic senator or a Trump Republican in the Senate or in the House? Just asking. Just asking. I'm just asking. Who do you think would want that? Who do you think would want that? And then they're like, fact check. Fact check. If Biden doesn't want electric tanks, it's fact check. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, be here at 9:30 p.m. Pacific, ladies and gentlemen. I will be back. God bless you all. To my super chat, thank you. New members on this channel, thank you. And I'll see you at 9:30, everybody. Be here, 9:30. Thanks, everyone. God bless. To the new members, hit subscribe. Or to new viewers, please hit subscribe.